Do you know the rivalry between John Cena and Edge, where like Edge had the spinner belt, y todo that? And they were talking about that promo where Edge went to John Cena's dad's house and
clap the shit out of him.
dude, but the thing is, right, is they actually showed like all the raw footage of like the actual recording, and John Cena's dad is the worst actor imaginable. Like, he was bringing his John Cena said like he was bringing his like New York vaudevillain out, and he was so overpronounced, it was ridiculous. It was so bad that Vince McMahon brought Bruce Pritchard into his office and yelled at him, talking about I can't do anything with this. What the fuck is this? What did you guys do over there? That's it. So they had to have Edge ad-lib the clip live because they just didn't have time.
Wow.
You know? That's it. It's ridiculous. They were able to do something with it, and as Cena Sr. said, they were able to get plenty of mileage out of it, but he doesn't know how the hell they did because it was awful. So, you know, so they were able to make it good. And they were talking about that moment where Edge was thrown into the Long Island Sound. Turns out the Long Island Sound is the most polluted lake in all of America. And so when he got thrown in there, the people who went in to dive in for him, like, you know, they were covered in like full PPE and scuba gear, you know, and all that. And Edge looks around like, I'm in fucking tights, you know? That's it. And then they showed footage of him getting lifted onto the boat, which I've never seen before. This is just all raw footage they had access to, you know? And what's the word? It's like, yeah, no, after that, I was sick for like a week. It was ridiculous. You know? Jesus Christ. So yeah, it was fun to know those little things. And they were talking about that spot in their TLC match where John Cena, first of all, John Cena is afraid of heights. He's definitely afraid of heights. And so in that match, when they were talking it over with creative, it's like, you know, we could do that, all that. And then John Cena mentions, it's just like, you know, I'm afraid of heights. So I don't know how that's going to, and Bruce Pritchard looks at him and is like, okay, have a good match. That's it. Just
have fun.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to face your fears, Johnny. I'm like, all right, fine. So John goes out there, they have their match, and John, como se dice, he does the 5-knuckle shuffle from the ladder. He falls 20 feet from that fucking ladder down to the floor through a table, you know, all that stuff. And he was able to do it. And Edge respects him for that because he was definitely afraid of heights, you know. But by the end of the match, he seemed comfortable up there, you know. So at the end of the match, Edge, como se dice, Edge and Cena are on opposing sides of the ladder and they're punching each other. And they wanted to pull off this spot.
The double tables.
Edge wanted to get AA'd through 2 tables off a ladder. And John Cena, the first thing he said when he was presented this idea was, do we really need to do this? You just fell off the ladder onto the floor through 2 tables. Do we really need to do this to get over? And Edge is like, listen, just go with it. Yeah. It. And Cena said, he looked directly into the camera when he said this. And he said, it's like, let me tell you right now, I would have never done the spot if I wasn't 100% sure I wasn't able to carry it out. You know? And you know how like Big Show has mentioned about John Cena's just freakish power. It's like, you know, when Brock Lesnar picks me up, Mark Henry, all that, they're good. But when John Cena picks me up, I could fucking order a pizza. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling, right? And so it's the same thing with Edge. He puts him up on his shoulders. He throws him off, and he holds his hand to target him. And then once he's in a good position, he lets go. And you can see it, too, in real time. And it's just... It's crazy to think. First of all, what crazy strength and bravery from John Cena. At the end of the docuseries, they're both like emotional. Edge is like, I believe that at that moment I needed to be the Roddy Piper to John Cena's Hulk Hogan. You know, I needed to be the ultimate mega heel and to turn the fans against me towards him. And he says, like, if I had one regret in this business, is that I wasn't able to turn that Toronto, Canada crowd against me. You know, they still love them, right? And, you know, to be honest, I see what he means. But I also really like the fact that John Cena's walked into hostile environments and still came out the stronger man, and you could just respect him for that.
Yeah.
Like ECW One Night Stand, you know what I mean? That's just how it is. So like, I don't really mind that dynamic, but I see where Edge is coming from because that would have been the ultimate heel move to have your own hometown boo you.
Yeah,
you know?
for real.
But I also don't blame him in the moment because he's always getting booed. It's like I get cheered for once, you know. It's like it's a nice change of pace, you know what I mean? That's it. So I see what he means, but you know, at the end, Edge was just like, I think we both came out of that. I believe with any rivalry, both parties need to come out of it stronger. And I think we did exactly that. And John Cena said, is like, Edge is simply like the greatest human being. And he was tearing up, you know what I mean? Because he's like the nicest, like the sweetest, the most like connecting guy, like one of the best guys I've ever worked with, that kind of thing. And he's emotional by the end of it because I'm like, all I'm thinking is like, damn, these guys went to war. You know what I mean? These guys went through so much together and they were able to come out the other side, you know?
Yeah.
Just fucking crazy. And that little interviews like that really make me fall in love with the business. You gotta love WWE. Oh my God. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Edge is just crazy too. I remember on Inside the Ropes when he was talking about the flaming table with Mick Foley, me getting FU'd off a ladder through 2 tables. He said, if you ever see me do anything stupid to my body, it was probably my idea.
Oh yeah. Like, did you see that one clip about Beth Phoenix and Edge and AEW? It was like, you know, he jumped off that fucking cage. And he landed on his foot and he tweaked his ankle. Yeah.
Yep.
You know? It was like, yeah, you know, he didn't tell me he was gonna do that. He just did it. You know?
Exactly.
That's it.
That's just how he is.
That's fucking ridiculous. And then in the comments, it was like, well, he should have known better not to land on his foot. And it was like, yeah, you're probably right, guys. You know? That's it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that match at Unforgiven 2006, I used to watch that shit all the time.
Peak cinema.
That's like probably one of the most rewatched matches like ever.
You know the STFU, like the submission hold that he does. Yeah,
that, on the ladder.
He actually, he sandwiched the ladder. You know, Edge actually passed out.
Really?
Yeah, Edge actually, because there was extra leverage from the ladder, and John Cena just wasn't aware. He even said it in the interview. It was like, I would never knew that Edge was in jeopardy. He didn't really let me know. You know? So he passed out, and what Edge remembers is that when he passed out is that he could hear like an alarm, and he thought that he was late for like a flight. and then eventually when he woke up, he realized that he was gurgling, making that alarm sound. And when he was looking up, he was looking at like a Canada Airlines logo. So his mind just made the connection for him. You know? Oh my God. Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, no, that match and that feud has always been great.
Peak cinema. And we know what's even crazier is that not 2 matches beforehand, it was DX versus Vince, Shane, and Big Show in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I used to rewatch that match all the time as well. That card also had Trish versus Lita.
Yeah.
Trish's retirement match.
Yeah, and Lita lost the title. Yeah. Yep. Fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm telling you, peak cinema, that one. I gotta watch that pay-per-view again.
Yeah, and I think that one also had Randy Orton versus Carlito, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was like one of the first like springboard RKOs I've ever seen in my life.
We need to recreate that PLE on 2K24, not gonna lie. We can do that. Easy. I'm sure there's a community creation somewhere. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, probably. And then the FU through the 2 tables always looked like the craziest spot. But then when you get older and you learn more about like wrestling, it's like, oh, it's like one of the safest things they could have done.
Yeah, absolutely. Those outside falls.
Oh no, the outside ones is crazy.
Those are deadly, bro. Like,
yeah.
And then it's crazy how, like, I think it was in 2008, it was One Night Stand. It was Undertaker versus Edge. And Undertaker, there were 4 tables stacked on top of each other, so 2 and 2. And Undertaker did that through 4 different fucking tables. Like, oh my God. What is going on? You're too old to be taking those bumps, Mark. I appreciate you, but please don't do that again.
Yeah,
Jesus.
And I think SummerSlam 02, they did a similar thing with like the 4 tables set up. It was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn missed like one of the tables. So he went through like 3 of them, and then the other one, which didn't break, just landed on him. And he had to like kick it off.
Bro, nobody ever hits all 4. Taker didn't hit all 4 either.
Yeah.
He missed one. It was the closest to him on the ground. So thankfully it didn't fall on him or anything. But yeah, no one ever hits all 4.
Yeah, no, never.
Jesus Christ. Absolutely ridiculous.